Thank you so much, guys. Seriously, I appreciate it. So, I know you guys probably don't want to hear my voice for too long, but I am going to give my testimony because I thought it would be something that hopefully can touch your guys' hearts tonight. So, I'm really excited. This is just incredible what God's doing here, and I know it's going to keep going as long as we keep God at the center of this group. And I know we're all hungry for truth in this, and so that's why we're here. We're hungry for some truth in this world. So I'm just so excited. I'm going to open up with my testimony. You guys are going to hear a little bit about me and how the group got together. And it's going to be incredible. Man, this is such a blessing. I'm like, so much awe. It's awesome. But I might be looking down at here too because I'm kind of a little bit blind, so don't mind me. So I'm going to explain why I gave my life to God. Because I think that all of us here either gave our life to God or are in the process of that. And so it all started back in the day, right? When I was in elementary school, it's kind of weird, but I used to be like a super shy kid. I hated talking to people. It was like my nightmare. I don't know why, I just didn't like talking to people. My best friends were my teachers. It was really sad. No offense if your friends are your teachers. But I played chess. I played chess with my teachers during lunch. It was really sad, actually. You guys can make fun of me, laugh a little bit. But I was the shy guy. And, whatever, I'm the shy guy. But, I never liked talking to people. And COVID hit, middle school. I think it was in 7th grade, COVID hit. And what happened was, I just decided, okay, I got an Xbox too. I was gaming on my Xbox, playing with one of my homies, playing with Isaac. Sorry to call you out like that, bro. We would stay up all night, play Rainbow Six and Fortnite. But besides the point, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to be relatable, okay? I would do that. I would have a whole box of Cheez-Its every night. It was really sad. I'm just calling myself out right now. Awkward. But basically, that was depressing. That was sad. And in that, after COVID, I decided, okay, I'm not going to be that shy guy anymore. I'm not going to be that shy kid anymore. And so middle school, I think it was 8th grade, there was this thought in my mind where I could not pass the hallway without saying hi to every single person I saw. I don't know what was wrong with me, but it was like the opposite effect of being shy. I'm like, okay, it's actually really easy to talk to people. And so I'd have to talk to every single person I saw down that hallway. Super weird. And then I carried that on into high school. I was talking to all these people. I was, searching for something. I don't know. I wanted all these friends. I wanted to be valued, like loved. And so what I was figuring out is that I love talking to people, and people gave me some validation, some reason to keep going, all these things, and that just left me broken. It didn't help me, and this is what happened. I would keep doing that. I would keep looking after people, saying, oh, I'll talk to this person. This person likes me, cool. If someone didn't like me, I would genuinely, I didn't know what to do with myself. I'm a people pleaser. Like I just had to have every person like me, and if they didn't, I would go crazy. But, I was searching for this void, this thing. I was like reaching my hand out and trying to grab something, and I was slowly like pulling back. I wasn't grabbing anything. I wasn't holding on to anything, and sophomore year, that was the whole mindset, guys, that I had from 8th grade after COVID all the way to sophomore year. I was just striving, chasing after the approval, trying to be loved, trying to search for this void in my heart. And there was this Ventura versus Buena game that I went. It was at Ventura High School. It was sophomore year, and I was there. I loved it. I had all of my friends. I was hanging out with them, and I felt like the stuff. I felt like the guy, and I thought I had everything together. And then, that night, I went home, and I'm like, I got everything together. I should be happy, man. I'm the cool guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got all my stuff together. I got everything. I should be, happy. And what happened was I walked into my house after my friends dropped me off. And I locked myself in the bathroom. And I just started bawling out. And I'm like, God, why? I'm doing everything right, I feel like, in my heart. I should be happy. I'm finding these fulfillments in certain places. And I'm just crying. I'm just giving everything to God and saying, okay, what do I do? What do I do, God? And the thing is, I believed in God. I grew up Catholic my whole life. I was in the faith. I believed in God. I never had a doubt in God. But the thing was, I wasn't following God. And so I knew God was real. And I didn't pray the prayer of, God, if you're real, show me yourself. I prayed the prayer of, God, I know you're real. And something's off in my heart. Something's off. I don't know what it is. So after I locked myself in the bathroom, I was crying. I was just like, God, what is wrong with me? I'm doing everything, and I'm just not getting anything. And then I had this overwhelming presence of God just pour over me. This supernatural peace that surpasses all knowledge. I didn't even understand it. But tears of happiness started coming down my face, and I was just like, I know you're real, God. And I feel it. It's not even the feeling, it's just the understanding that I knew he was real and he had a purpose for my life. And so I experienced that moment of just crying with happiness. I'm like, God, I'm going to give everything to you. I'm going to give everything to you. And that was just an amazing moment that God did in my life. And it's crazy. God can do some powerful things in our life that we can even forget sometimes. And so I was living out the faith, projecting myself to be this Christian guy. And I thought I was changed. I thought I was living everything right. And, something like that, something that crazy that happens should change your life. Everything should be different. But no. For me, there was something that just didn't fully shift. I didn't fully follow, and I should have. And so I was just, I knew God, but he didn't know me. And so I was still, following him, I thought. I convinced myself that I was following God. But really, I was just, using that as like a mechanism to think that I am, and I wasn't living right. And so a year later, I had this, I was still, living in this like 1 foot in the world, 1 foot for God. I just didn't give everything to God. And God wants all of us. And so there was a part of me that was just lacking. That was like, okay, God, you're right here. I'm like right in the middle. I don't want to give up everything. I kind of just want a part of you, a part of my life, have the temporary pleasures, all these things. And so one night, craziest night, this is the most thankful thing I am for, is I went to sleep and I had this dream. I had this dream that I was walking up these white stairs and this whole room was just white and glowing. And I see this Jesus on the right side, and I see this glorious, glowing figure. And then something on the left. And I hear these words, and this dream felt so real and so deep. I was literally in that moment. I can't explain it, but it was one of those dreams where you just are there. Like, this is so real. And I hear the scariest words of my life that I will ever hear. I heard, "Depart from me, I never knew you." And I was in this moment of I was terrified. I was like, God, I thought I was living for you. I thought I was, and the truth was I didn't give him everything. I was still living in patterns of sin. I was still, searching in the wrong places for God, in the gap in my heart that I knew God only could fill. And I heard those words, and everything started turning red. And there was this moment of regret. I knew I was in the wrong. I knew I wasn't following God. Maybe I knew God, but God didn't know me because my lifestyle was so contrary to who God was. I wasn't representing him correctly. So everything started turning red. And I was in this moment for probably a couple minutes where I'm like, I'm done. My life wasn't lived for God. I didn't truly believe in him. And I woke up, and I'm here. I'm alive. I thought I was dead, but he gave me another chance. And that was the moment where I got scared. And that was the seeking and understanding of how scary it is without God. I never want to feel that moment ever in my life again. I was so terrified. I was like, God, I can't be without you, because without you, I'm nothing. And so that's when I gave it up. Not the first time. I was like Pharaoh. I ignored all the signs, all these things. The second time, Pharaoh didn't even after the second time. But I mean, after that, I'm like, thank you, God. Thank you for showing me what it's like without you. And so that's when I made the change. That's when I really started to pursue God and thank him that I wasn't dead, that I wasn't apart from him. And so this is how Jesus changed my life after that moment. I realized that my sin, my doing that disconnects me from God, is like a barrier. If there's me or there's you guys, and you're face to face with Jesus, and there's this something that gets in the way. There's this sin. It's a barrier. You cannot reach your hand out if there's a barrier to Jesus. And so my sin, my patterns, my lifestyle was creating this barrier where I couldn't even see Jesus in my life. It like blinded me from seeing the truth. And that's sometimes like our heart posture. Your heart posture can be so hardened that you can't see what's right in front of you. And that was like me until God softened my heart and He showed me this, you want to live this lifestyle? This is the lifestyle that it leads to. Your sin leads to death. And so I reached my hand out and said, God, thank you for life. I want to live for you now. And what began to happen is my life began to have purpose. There's this verse. This is Jesus referencing this. I am the vine, you are the branches, and if you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. So if I'm a part of that branch, vine. Jesus is the vine, right? And we're all these little branches. We're all a part of what God's doing because He's in the middle, He's in the center. Apart from God, this is the last part. So it says, I am the vine. This is Jesus talking. You are the branches. We're all branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. But apart from me, you will bear no fruit. So that put in perspective, there's no purpose in life if you're not going to live for God. Our whole purpose is to worship God. And what does that look like? Your lifestyle needs to change and be shifted for God. I don't live for myself anymore. I live for you, God. You are above all things in my life, and you're working within me and through me. And if there's anything in my life that isn't aligned with you, I don't want it. As much as it may hurt, like if I were to be offered, this is what I think of sometimes. I'm like, God, if you love me, give me $1 million. And God's like, no, if you get $1 million, you're going to spend it, you're going to forget about me. So sometimes there's these things that we just don't even understand. And so I asked that question, God, how can I live for you? And I didn't just say, how can I live for you? I acted it out. I wanted it because I wanted to serve the God who loved me, the God who sent His one and only Son to die for us in humiliation. Jesus died for us even when we were still sinners, and He still loved us. Now we just need to accept that. We need to do our part, and that's what I did in my testimony, in my story. I accepted what Jesus did for me and said, okay, I'm taking that. That's a part of my life now. Jesus, what you did for me is a part of my identity. I don't live on my own now. I live with you at the center of my life. And so now, I'm asking God, let your kingdom come down to earth. Your kingdom come, your will be done. Not my will be done, my kingdom come. I don't got a kingdom. God's got His kingdom. I want God's kingdom to come down. And so I just want to participate in what God's asking me to do. Bring heaven down to earth. So bring a little piece of what God is telling, or asking of us to just be obedient and just listen to what He's saying. Just listen. If you just strive after His love and you understand how much Jesus actually loves you, there's this shift in your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit. Everything shifts. Okay, I have a God who loves me, who's willing to die for me, even when I didn't deserve, that. So we serve a good God, and that's exactly why I gave my life to Christ, because of that, and I wanted to bring God's kingdom down to earth. And so I started asking God, what do you want me to do? What is it, God? There was things that He started taking out of my life slowly. Like, okay, God, if I'm going to be aligned with you, I got to take these things out. These things are separating me from you. There's like a wall between me and you, and those things are getting in the way. So take those out. Throw them out. I'm giving you everything, God. It's hard. It's definitely not easy. It's not like just a snap, like, oh, everything changed, my whole lifestyle. No, you're going to have to battle against your flesh with what you desire. But you ask God, okay, God, I'm not strong enough. You are strong. And that's why I'm striving after you having strength that's from you, not my own. And so, now a little bit of the story of the Bible study, how this all came along. There's how do I start? It's incredible. just how this story started, and it's all like God made, and so it's just insane. So I had this buddy. Sorry, Colton. I'm sorry, Colton. Where's Colton at? All right, everybody look at this guy right here, bro. And then look at this guy, Isaac, right here. Okay, so Isaac was talking to Colton. They were working in lifeguarding. And what happened was Colton was like, hey, Isaac, I don't know, I'm kind of thinking about believing in God. I'm giving it to you, God. I mean, he was just kind of like, okay, I'm going to do it. And he was talking to Isaac. Isaac was kind of being like discipling Colton in a way, like helping him out, figure out these things. And then Isaac was like, hey, you should chat with Alex. He follows Jesus. And so I think it was 2 days after. I think, I texted you or did you text me?
I texted.
So Colton reached out to me and he's like, hey, like, I believe in Jesus now, like, oh, let's hang out. And so, which is crazy, okay? I need to give you a little backstory, okay? I'm sorry, Colton. Colton used to have long hair all the way down to here. I mean, it looked great, but I'm just saying. I think your hair looks great now, too. But I didn't know Colton for the Colton that he is today, and he's just another testimony of how God can take something and make it something beautiful. Like, your life is just nothing you would have expected now compared to back then. And I'm not going to say anything about your story, but total hippie, total hippie, And then I'm like, oh, Colton believes in Jesus? Sick. And so we made up, and I'm like, hey, Colton, like, I'm kind of thinking of making this Bible study. What do you think? And he's like, yeah, you should definitely do it. And I had my cousin, Claire, who was also considering, she's like, yeah, you should make this, because previous year I was thinking about making it, but this is 2023, so this is like almost 2 years ago. And so I was considering making this Bible study group a year previous, but I made the group chat, I made everything, and it just didn't work out. I didn't follow the plans. And so the next year, Cole was like, you should do it. And he really pushed me to like want to do it, make the group, and I think it all grew our faith, and it made us like realize, okay, we're here. We gotta serve God, we gotta get our lives straight and to serve Him. So that's kind of how the story started, which was crazy. I would have never expected atheist Colton, who had long hair, to be like, hey, I believe in Jesus, and then encourage me to make a Bible study, and now be a Bible study leader and be incredible in his faith, studying so much of the Bible. Like, it's just insane. So let's just give it up for Colton. That's insane. But this is, what God's doing, and it's just incredible. We're going to continue to listen to God's voice and do what He's asking. And you guys are all a part of this group. Every single person here is a part of what God's doing. And so I thank God for everything He's doing. But I thank you guys for being a part of this too. You guys, in whatever way, even if you're here just visiting, hanging out, discipling, calling your friend up from 4 years ago just to hang out. Insane. But God is moving, and just letting you guys know. My testimony is not special. It's just what God did with me. Everybody has their own testimony. God wants to work in your lives, and maybe God has worked in your lives. But all it takes is a yes. I'm wrong, God. And yes, you're right, God. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have to deny yourself and say, nope, whatever plans I have, they're not better than God's plans. Because God knows the plans for you to prosper, all these things. He has these beautiful plans, like in Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans for you. And so when we just align ourselves with God and what He sees for us, something beautiful happens. And this group right here is just a testament? Something like that. It's just a story of what God's doing. And so this is VTA Bible Study. God bless you guys, and thank you guys so much for